All right, folks, we are back to wrap up our week here this Friday, May 30th. I got these landscapers outside my home office, so before I go crazy, we're going to get through this meeting pretty quick. Great to have all of us, though, here otherwise inside our live trading room. We got Jeff, Grant, Leda, so Kathleen just before, John, Roberto. I saw Ron, Jeff, Larry, and all of us just there otherwise. So without further ado, not only do we have about an hour and a half left before the end of the week, but we also have class. We got the phase 2 stock course lined up. Finishing that up at least at 3:05 Eastern time. So let me just show this here to begin. I always like to pop this up when I'm in teacher mode, at least here. So we're into May, which is lessons 5, 6, 7, and 8. Maybe try and move my webcam at least, but otherwise we are in the month of May, phase 2. So lessons 5, 6, 7, and 8. We just finished up lesson 7 earlier just this morning. So actually coming up later on at 3 o'clock, albeit it'll be in the afternoon. We're going to be discussing pre-market trading, doing an introductory class on how to trade pre-market. There's a few different specifics that we got to cover if you're looking to join us early in the morning and look to trade with us there. Now, heading into the afternoon at least, looking at the market, we had a pretty good rebound, right? So we saw the markets make lower highs, continuing this kind of trend from yesterday, then finally made a shake lower, pulled back a bit. I thought there could have been room for more. So there is a bit of a gap here on the daily chart that this could have tried to, come down and fill and look to make more of a lower low. It ended up rebounding back upward pretty well. So what that meant for me is I'm very bullish Bitcoin, but it's just a matter of when. And I have a few different indicators, things I look at. So I'm looking at 104,000 for big support on Bitcoin coming up. If it slices below that over the weekend, we'll probably drop lower towards 102, maybe even 101. But every trade begins with the entry. And I had pretty good conviction to believe that 104 could be a pretty good bounce area. So market moving up, Bitcoin going up. Hopefully that continues here heading into the end of this week. But what we'll do is go from top to bottom here pretty quickly, just run across the gainers and losers lists here, build up our watch list right now. The BMGL, probably our trade of the day so far. We had a couple runners, at least from the morning, that did us really nicely. So this BMGL was one of them, pushed up pretty nicely after the open. Let me get the pre-market charting to show. So this was very active, albeit a bit flat, downward heading into 9:30, but right away afterwards took off like a rocket, moved up pretty nicely, and thankfully ended up taking off like a rocket again, second time. It doesn't always work out that way. So it built support pretty well. It failed to break a lower low. Then, hey, if it's not going to break a lower low, it incentivizes the chance to look for a bounce and a push up higher. So obviously, it's easy to say this took off very easily. A lot of us were able to jump in on this trade heading into the late morning, if not the early afternoon. And maybe there still could be room to jump in heading into the close. Looking at the daily chart here, that's not good. All right, so not as much data to work with on this graph. That's actually like a decent thing. I like that part of it. But we're pretty much at broken support here back from March into May. Hey, I'm not even going to have us, answer this here for me because I know that support should become resistance, right? So at that point, when this moved back up towards here, right around this 385, 390-ish, whatever you want to call this line here, well, it's holding under it now, but first time is where it rejected. So we'll see if this ends up trying to keep testing resistance throughout the afternoon or if this is the end of the rodeo. Real quick, just for all of us inside the trading room, just let me know if you're able to see my screen. We should be good, right? Just want to make sure. Just oftentimes, if it's on you, you just might need to log out, log back in. Little webinar glitch right there, but we should be good. Mike, Stephanie, Phil, all of us there. Perfect. All right, so we'll keep moving quick just because we do have class coming on up. Normally, I take a bit more time to kind of recap a couple of these trades, but we got to move with speed here. So GITS pop drop. Now at this point, it's pretty much flat and dead. So we well moved on from this trade at this point. GWH, hey, trying to make a more of an afternoon pot for us here. So I like the timing of it. Definitely want to see it break out higher up towards $2, if not over 2. For right now, I don't mind putting this on our watch list at least. This kind of looks like a lower high right now. Looks like it's a lower high, but still kind of filling out here in this range. So I'll give it a shot there. Keep cruising along here, folks. So earlier, I made a comment to one of our students, or just out loud, actually. It was just more of a call out publicly. I was basically saying something similar to another trade. But RRGB, we have pretty good resistance right around this 525. And then you could even say like 530-ish. It's 525, 530. So for it to come back up there again here, it broke above it, but false breakout, came back down very fast. And this is where you need to see it stick around this resistance if it wants to try again. It doesn't look like this wants to try again. Looks like it's pulling back down once more, and we'll call it quits on that for right now. LV or LVWR. So this stock, Livewire Group, another nice trade from earlier today alongside the BMGL. I would say that BMGL obviously is up more percentage wise, but LVWR was just as nice in terms of the trend, in terms of the liquidity out there. Spread's still pretty tight, so it's good to see. You have a few orders out there that are pretty decent size. You want to have even more showing up on the bid, though. For this to be up as much as it is and trading as much volume as it is, if it's not going to break higher, then wouldn't shock me if we get the flush back down here into the close. So another stock I'll put on our list for now. I definitely like the BMGL with where it's at right now the most, but got a few trades to work with here so far. All right, BLRX, pass. VIVK, pass. Pretty easy from right now. CAPT, normally it looks pretty good. Just a little spotty chart, little points of inactivity here I see on the graph, like low volume. So we've seen better. This could be better. Wow. For as much as this just tanked, it is trying to prove itself to us right now. Definitely strong recovery here on this IMNN. Still a lower high, of course, from earlier. Look at this thing. Talk about a gap fill. Technically, this hasn't really fully filled the gap yet. Where it closed here right around 330. And maybe there is room where this can squeeze up there. We just came off our class earlier, speaking of gaps. So I don't mind it. Again, another trade. I don't mind. We'll put this on our watch list. Tradable, decent candidate as of right now. SPWR or SPRO, I should say. Jeff locked up a nice trade just before. One of our platinum students, Jeff, he ended up jumping in just right around 19, got out at 1935, 1945 or so. Hey, good exit. Kind of chopping around here right now. Looks like there was some pretty good support from earlier today, right around here. So if it does drop, then that would need to hold as support. Might be too late by the time it drops down there, bounce back up. Just rather see it kind of just hold higher lows with where it's at here. Even if it does shake, that could be support, but let's keep it moving. I'll add this trade towards the top of our list. The pony, we're just familiar with it. We've done very well on it over the last recent weeks, let alone week. So back from late April, the stock took off, made a big pop for us back then. So at least one that we're familiar with, one that's moving up pretty nicely, and we'll see if there's more on it. All right, now we got a pretty decent watch list now at this point. We got 5 stocks on there, one that we're definitely familiar with, and a couple others that the shoe fits. It's pretty good. ONDS, this is a drone stock. Possibly, definitely starting to move back up here. We had some resistance right around. Was that 125, 130-ish or so, just back from July into December. So it's kind of knocking on that door again here coming up. I mean, it's at the highs of the day today. It wouldn't hurt me to put this on our list, but see if there's anything even better. Time to be a little picky and choosy now at this point. See what we got. That MP trade. This MP trade looking pretty good. Decent order book, tight spread. Wow, pretty interesting here. So it's up 11%. Looking at the daily chart, trying to recover. So I think we looked at this recently, right? Yeah, maybe back like a month ago or so, but it was trending up pretty nicely here, at least off this most recent set of lows. Nice little higher low here. This could be another higher low in relation. There might be swing trade potential on this stock over time. Where it's at right now, definitely another good trade I'll add to our list. Cool. All right, that's up 11%. There could be more. Let's see what we got. BBAI, this has been pretty good to us of late. That's moving up a little bit. We've seen better. Run, I mean, we've seen better out of this, but this looks stronger with where it's at right now. And speaking of gaps, there is massive gap fill opportunity here for Run. So I'll add it. Let's go back. 1 minute chart. There we go. Zoom out. There we go. All right, so HIMS. I know Fausto took a swing trade on this earlier today, like during our audio commentary. Listen, if you're on YouTube right now, if you're on Facebook Live, LinkedIn, etc., we always invite you to subscribe to our channels, just that being down below at Cyber Trading U. Always we stream live each and every morning, each and every afternoon here, 9 o'clock Eastern time. You got 35+ year pro Fausto Pugliese on. Well, hey, join us inside our live trading room. That's where you got a full hour-long commentary extra in the morning, as well as the afternoon coming up here. But he was discussing this with all of our students inside our trading room right now. Lita, Stephanie, Michael, Jeff, Phil, all of us here otherwise. You jumped in right around probably around 54.30s, 54.40s or so, maybe even lower, but right around here throughout the morning, pushing up pretty well afterwards. And even on the shake, it's right at the highs. So gotta love to see it. Nice trade altogether, whether it's a day or a swing you're taking it on. Palantir was up big earlier today, but this is the Christmas tree I was referring to before. We need is like a little star on top here, right? A little star on top there, a little up, a little down. Well, right now, at least, Palantir, it is on the rebound, at least here for right now. It's coming off of good news. There's a chance I could add this, but let's see if there's anything looking even stronger at this point. Like Run here is moving up earlier. We have the EMPH trade, which similar is like kind of gap fill opportunity type trade here. So I could add that as well, but we're already at like 5%. Be a little picky here. So we'll hop over to the loser side first before I do last call. If there's anything else looking better, anything I kind of lenient on, and we'll kind of add from this point, but we'll see. Gap is down 19%. Wow, this got hit early on this morning. Definitely a good short. So it was more from yesterday, obviously, but when the market opened up, pretty good short opportunity. Now a lower high. This could potentially be a good short opportunity taking us into the close. I just wish it was closer to the low of the day. It's about 50, 60 cents away from that low. So, I'll kind of pass on it for that reason more than anything, but interesting move. What else we got? Let's see here. QUBT. We were looking at that the other day on the way up. So pulled right back down, wiped out all of its gains here, broke much lower. Just flat though right now. I'll tell you, not much really looking as good from the losers list there. So last call, Michael, Kathleen, Leda, any of our students inside our live trading room, anything that's looking good, you let me know. We'll kind of just run through one more time quick here. See what I put on there. So the LVWR we have on there already. The BMGL, obviously. GWH, that's on there. I think that we'd come back to the ONDS, right? We said we'd kind of come back to this. Wouldn't hurt us if we put this on our watch list at this point. Up 13% at the HOD. It's tradable. You got big resistance levels, though, here. 125, 130, at least those two together. So, for right now, I'll pass. There's probably just more volatile stocks that we need to put our attention towards. All right. I don't see anything from the trading room, at least. Hey, we're all good to go, though. At least if I did my job correctly, then there shouldn't really be much else that we're missing. Unless if there's something popping right now and literally getting halted in front of us. So GWH is popping. That's actually on our list for right now. So took care of that. That's where we say we don't want to like put too much on our list. We want to start and stick with our watch list because it will give you the best chance to try and catch a runner from this point. So I'll take it. You know what? There we go, folks. So if you're joining me in class once more, we're going to post the link just right there. Michael on the pony. Yeah, we have pony on our list already. We talked about pony, showed that graph. Jeff took a nice trade on it just before, and that's doing pretty good still. So we like that. But again, if you're joining me in class specifically, just make sure that you click that link to join. Close the trading room out here just once you're in class with me, and we're good to go. Otherwise, though, if you're not joining us, a couple things. If you're looking to learn more about our education, just make sure that you talk to your education advisor, whether it be John or even myself or Rich as instructors here. We're here to help and give any answers there for you. But they'll be able to give you at least the most specific details about our curriculum, how our students get started off with us here at Cyber Trading University. So, from there, just make sure that you talk to your education advisor. But otherwise, though, if you're not joining us in class, best of luck trading, but have a great weekend otherwise. Enjoy the weekend. We're finally basically in summer. I mean, it's not June 21st yet, but normally after Memorial Day, this is essentially our unofficial summer, right? So, even if you're not trading, if you're kicking the weekend off early, maybe it's 5 o'clock somewhere, enjoy. Just, enjoy the weekend, relax. This is why we trade, so we could take the time to do the finer things or even do the more relaxing things and just kick back, whatever it is. But, folks, hey, I'll see everyone otherwise in class coming up. With that said, take care.